Flawed Internet Logic.
On this episode of Simply Necessary Conversations.
So I have seen this post on several different popular social media accounts. So I was like, this has to be our trending topic today. And I'm just going to read a snippet of what the post said. This is by @Charlene_Bay. If she chooses to respond to whatever we say. If you ever find out your kids aren't yours, I think you should keep such information away from those kids and continue your fatherly duty. These kids grew up knowing you as their father. Now imagine how traumatizing it would be for the kids when you boldly face them to tell that, you know, they're not his, I guess. So basically she was not insinuating. She was saying that fathers who may find out later on in a child's life that they are in fact not the father, shout out to Maury, they are supposed to keep that a secret because that will ruin the kid's life. So what do we do? Is that like, does that make sense?
That seems like something that a woman who's not sure who the father of her children might be would say. Because what matter of crazy is that?
Because I don't think, I feel like I've seen in real life, I feel like a lot of fathers that find that out later on, they want to find out, but they still are going to be present in the child's life.
They don't reject the child. But is she crazy? Like, what do you, first of all, ma'am, you should know who the father of your children are. Let's start there. Like, there's like,
why is that a question?
I know stuff happens, unfortunately, but like,
unless there are extenuating circumstances,
let's make it a habit of knowing who the father of the children are and making sure that the father knows that they're the father. That's like, let's start there. But if there is a situation where someone was involved with somebody, ended a relationship, immediately started another relationship, and there was a situation where there was a question about who the father is, first of all, the guy should be told. There's a possibility that you could be you or someone else. He should be told that. They should find out right away. But if the guy is not told, if he finds out later on, like if he's fine with it at first and then later on decides he wants to know, I don't think he's obligated in any way other than maybe morally he may want to still be involved with the child, because you cannot tell somebody that they have to take on the responsibility of someone else. Like, it's not fair. And then in terms of the kid, there's no way that it makes sense. There's no way that it's fair that a child should grow up not knowing.
And that means they don't know who their real relatives are. That can be very dangerous.
Dating a relative, being involved, especially if you're living in a tight-knit community or whatever, they could end up dating a relative, a sibling. Like, you just don't know, which is another problem with men that spread
I
their
don't
seed
even
everywhere.
like when, I mean, I shouldn't say I don't like because it's none of my business, but I don't like when people will like, they already have a child and then they end up in a relationship. The child is still very little to not know who their real father is, and they just like pretend. Because why not just be honest and be like, oh, like, I had you before I met so-and-so.
They have a right to know.
They're your father. They take care of you. Like, that's dad. But they're not your biological father.
Yeah, like the saying goes, any man can become a father, but it takes a special man to be a daddy. Okay, so you can father a child. That does not mean that you are a daddy. And daddy in the sense of...
Okay, let's stop using the word daddy.
And I knew you was going to say
let's
that.
Use
but
dad.
Like, okay,
because I feel like daddy has a weird connotation.
Yeah, y'all have changed the connotation of daddy. But in this case, I mean, biologically, a person could procreate with someone and not be a good person and take care of that child and nurse them or whatever.
Own up to the responsibility.
Let's use Russell Wilson.
Well, that was random.
No, it's not, because this is literally the situation. Young Future knows, I assume. I mean, because the internet would not let him not know.
I mean, his name is Future.
Future, right. He's named after his biological father, but Russell Wilson is very much his dad. And not to say that Future doesn't have a relationship with his son, because I don't know
their business. According to Sierra's interviews.
Well, I don't know their business, and before people come for me, I don't know. But at any rate, Russell has welcomed Future into his life. He treats him like he is his
father. And they even look alike to me.
And, and he seems to have great affection for him. So in a situation like that, that child knows that Russell Wilson is not his biological father, but he is perfectly okay with it, at least right now, accepting him as his father. So I don't understand that now. And I personally don't like when, because back in the day, I don't know if you know this, back in the day when a woman had a baby, if the father didn't come to the hospital and sign his name acknowledging he was the father, she could not give that child that man's last name. Like they just couldn't. I don't know when that changed and how it changed, but now as a mother, and when you go to the hospital and you fill out the forms for the child's name, you can put whatever last name you want. What I don't like is when people give kids the wrong last name. Like they give kids the last name of the man that they're with, even though he's not the father of that child, or, you know,
or they keep the last name from someone
they
that
keep
they're
their
no
name
longer with.
They keep their name from a previous marriage, and then all their kids after that get that last name, when in actuality, that's not those kids' last name. Like that's not their lineage. And I'm not trying to judge anybody. I just think it makes it difficult for kids, especially in small communities, because then people are asking them, "Oh, are you a blah blah blah?" And no,
now
they really are
question.
not. But you know, you got to explain to them, "Well, no, my mom was married to blah blah." People should have a right to know their biology.
How do you feel about like a mandatory paternity test across the board?
Honestly, we're living in a day and age where, I will tell you, because I have, or had, depending on how you want to look at it, a stepson. You have a half brother.
Well, you had, because you're not married to his dad anymore.
Well, but he's still your brother.
Yes.
Okay, so when my then spouse went to address that situation, his attorney said to him, "You need to have blood tests to make sure that the child is yours." And he said, the reason that I recommend that, he's like, "I will not take your case unless you do that." He's like, because I represented a man one time who came in, and he wasn't coming in to question paternity. He just wanted to set child support. Like he just wanted to establish that legally. And he said he told the guy, "Get blood tests, make sure the kids are yours." He's like, "Oh, I don't need to do that. I know the kids are mine. I just want to make sure that the child support is being handled through the system so that, you know, I get credit for it, whatever." He's like, he told him, "No, you need to get blood tests." There were, I think, and I don't want to lie, this was obviously decades ago, 4 kids involved. None of them were his, according to the attorney.
But see, as a girl that is not, como se dice, out in these streets, I'm offended if you ask me for a paternity test. Like, obviously, this kid is yours.
Here's the thing. I understand you saying you would be offended, but if you got nothing to hide, like it, let's just do this.
Nothing to hide. But like at the same time,
it should almost be an automatic. Just like you automatically get a birth certificate, they should check.
If it's automatic, sure. But if my husband looks at me and is just like, I just want to make sure.
If he just brings it up out of the blue, that's one thing. But to take the offense out of it, to take the personalization out of it, hospitals, I think, should look. So it's going to be a lot of wretched women want to come from my neck, but I think, in order to issue the birth certificate at the hospital and have the parents put their names on it, it should be automatic that they establish this is his and her biological child. No questions asked. And that'll cut a lot of stuff out. That'll save taxpayers a lot of money, because then we know right off rip, this is his child. People that get, have kids and need public assistance, we know whether they deserve public assistance or not. Like, right out, if you're going to sign the birth certificate as mother, father, you should have to prove. Now, mother obviously doesn't need to do that.
Well, yeah.
But the father should be. And then that way, kids start out life knowing the truth right off rip. You don't have to.
Yeah, I don't think.
You don't have to figure it out.
I don't think it should be secret.
I think it's crazy to say to a man, this is not your child, this is not your responsibility, but just, because you don't want the child to be disillusioned, you still got to play that role. No, it would be nice if they did.
I feel like it's crazy to force someone to do something that they don't have to do,
and it lets the real father off scot-free.
To me, it's insinuating that either you lied or you messy, because why do you not, why are you not sure who the father is? Yeah. I feel like it's not that hard to figure out.
Yeah, and it kind of, it exonerates the real father. Like, if the person that thought they were the father continues to play that role, what does the real father do?
Yeah,
right? Yeah. So I think that was a crazy statement. Like I said, it sounds like
she made that was just a
her.
snippet of the post. She made like a 5-part post. So I feel like she has a 5-part story to tell about her own personal life, because she cared a lot. No shade to you, because I did specifically call her out.
Yeah, but I'm not. There has to be some backstory to this. There might be some extenuating circumstances, and if there are, I apologize, but if it's what it seems to be, no, ma'am. You cannot tell
Because
somebody.
that almost essentially means you had to dun within what, a week's time span?
I don't care how it was done. Once you find out that the father or the person you thought was the father is not the father, they're no longer responsible in that situation. Now, if they want to step up and say, "Hey, I'm still going to be involved with the child. I'm still going to support the child,"
it shouldn't even get that far. The baby should be like a newborn, fresh out the womb, and then they find out, and then it's like, oh, that's not my responsibility.
And the child would never even know that
it's
was a
almost
situation.
like this is going to be a stretch but for the all-American folks, when Jordan and Simone were initially dating in like one of the first seasons, and she had a kid and he thought the kid was his, but the kid wasn't his. Yeah, that was very messy.
Yeah.
So and people are not going to be like Jordan and be like, "I'll take care of you and build you a nursery and marry you." No, that's not about.
I'm on the side of the not the father, the person.
I'm on the side of the truth.
Yeah.
But if that father decides that he wants to walk out of the child's life, he can do it with the "let me put y'all on."
Oh my. That was a segue.
Anyway, so my boyfriend bought me these shoes, and I thought they were.
You are literally talking about walking out with shoes. Okay.
Yes, that was the segue. And they are the most comfortable theme park shoes you will ever put on, and they're so cute. Mm-hmm. They're like baby blue, bubblegum blue, like whatever you want to call it. They're like bright pastel.
I think they're like baby blue.
They're like baby blue.
Maybe.
The Nike Zoom Vomeros 5. Or wait, Nike Zoom Vomero 5s. If he sees this, he's going to be like, you said that wrong. But anyway, they're the most comfortable shoes, and we got matching pairs, so they're super cute.
Yeah, well, I beg to differ as far as them being the most comfortable.
You haven't even stepped foot in those shoes.
Well, my loyalty in terms of comfortable shoes.
Oh, yeah, this is a double. Let me put y'all on. That's not sponsored.
Y'all, if you ever see me out and about, most of the time, especially in the summertime, I'm going to have on Skechers. Oh, and I just found out that Snoop Dogg has a deal with Skechers, so that makes me even that much more happy because I love Snoop Dogg.
Skechers is an old person shoe.
Whatever.
Not to call you old.
Like, whatever, call me whatever you want to. I'll be wearing Skechers when you do, because they are because the sandals are comfortable, the sneakers are comfortable. I have very big flat feet, and it's hard for me to find comfortable shoes. And I can wear Skechers all day. I walked all over Disney. I walked all over Universal. I walked all over malls. I walked, in different states, all over Texas or whatever. Skechers are a good shoe, and I have different colors of the same style of Skechers shoe. I have sneakers. Love Skechers. So if you are looking for a comfortable theme park shoe,
get the Vomeros
or the Skechers.
But anyway, so what had happened was, this is another case of people on the internet wiling, because this hairstylist revealed that she requires her clients to lock their phone away during appointments. Like, when you go to like a closed event or a concert and you can't have your phone, and they have a little baggies that you can only unlock it once you leave the event. Mm-hmm. She puts their phone in that, and it's put away while they do their, hair and all that, which frankly would piss me off, because when I go to the hair salon, I'm not going to be friends. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to chit chat and tell my whole life story. Like, obviously you're going to be nice and friendly and like, oh yeah, I do this and I'm getting my hair done for this, whatever. But at a point, I want to be silent. I'm one of those people that I like silent nail appointments, hair appointments. Like, don't talk to me. Yeah. This is my decompression, de-stress time. Yeah. And I need my phone for that. Also, like, what if I want to text somebody while I'm getting my hair done?
Well, while I understand put the phone away, because when I'm there, if I'm somewhere where you getting your hair done, I yell at you for looking at your phone while somebody's trying to do your hair, because even though it's very slight, you have to adjust to somebody looking at their phone when you're doing their hair. Because when I'm at home doing your hair, it might not seem like it, but if you're doing this, it causes me to have to be a certain way, and it's a pain in the butt. So I understand that, but at the same time, I'm grown. You are not going to tell me what I can and can't do with my phone.
In my opinion, I pay too darn much for adjust to me, because I'm the client.
I look at it from the point of view of, what if you get an important text? What if you get an important call? What if something happens in the outside world?
Because the thing too is, most of the time when women go get their hair done, whatever your hair type is, it's going to a minimum take like 2 hours.
Yeah.
From start to finish, it's minimum going to take like 2 hours. What if I want to sit there and kiki with my friends or talk to my man or text you about something?
Now, what I think would have been okay, or what would be okay, is for her to say, okay, while I'm doing this particular thing, can you put your phone down?
I don't even think that's okay. We pay these hairstylists too much money.
It depends. No, it depends. Like, when you're getting your hair shampooed, nobody wants to be shampooed.
Well, I don't think anyone with good sense is looking at their phone when they're getting their hair shampooed.
If they're trying to do a specific thing and you need to have your head positioned a certain way, I can understand them saying,
and that's when you say, can you like look hairstylists do it all the time. Can you turn this way? Can you tilt your head this way? Whatever.
Yeah, but that it could slow their work down. Now, I don't think under any circumstance they should be able to take your phone. I'm not going to say be able to. You're not taking my phone. If that's a contingency for you to do my hair, then I'm not going to.
When I go to the hair salon, at minimum, I'm dropping $200 every time I go to the hair salon. Adjust to me. Earn your $200. Earn this tip that I'm about to give you. Because when someone does, I have very thick, long hair, as y'all can see. When someone does my hair, it takes a long time. And they always are complaining about, oh, we're not done yet. It's so thick and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to give you a tip. But do the work. Let me be on my phone and let me be at peace. Yeah. And don't try to put my phone in a little compartment, because that's very crazy.
I would be okay with them saying, can you not look at your phone while I do this, that, or the other thing? But just taking my phone altogether, you are not my mama. And I'm paying, like you said, I'm paying. I just feel like that's so... There's only certain, even when I go to an event and they want to take your phone, it gives me an uneasy feeling, because it's like, are y'all about to like do something illegal? Like, why are you trying to take my phone? Yeah, hairstylists are getting a little ratchet anyway with some of these demands and the things that they
when you go to get your braids
do.
done now, you got to come washed, blow dried, detangled. Like, next they're gonna say you have to come party.
With that, but then don't charge me like you did all that stuff. If I'm coming like that, then you need to charge me.
I will say that some hairstylists now will like provide like whatever extensions you want. Like, they'll bring the weave.
Okay, so whatever, for everything that you tell me to do prior to coming to you, deduct that off the price. If you want full payment, do the full job. If I gotta come already halfway done, then charge me half of what you normally charge. And there's the
late fees, but they will take breaks to grab a snack or make a phone call or whatever.
Those are pet peeves of mine. Unless we've established, because most of the people over the years that I've lived that have done my hair, I've become like friendly with them. And, it's kind of understood that, okay, and I will say most of them, when I'm in a situation like that, they don't charge me as much because I become a regular and they're maintained. Like, I know a couple people that I work with until they stop doing hair. I was a regular customer. We had a set routine. I came weekly or bi-weekly, and because of that, they charge me less because they're like, okay, I'm maintaining your hair. I don't have to undo some of the stuff that other customers have done if they don't come but once a month or once every couple of months. So you kind of establish a friendship just as much as a professional relationship. And they may say, do you mind if I eat? Or like... Sometimes they might put you under the dryer. Okay, I'm gonna run in here or in the break room, whatever, get something to eat. That's fine, but don't have me in your chair in a situation where you could be actively working on my hair while you're going to do something else. And I'm glad don't do that,
because back when I was younger, in my younger days or whatever, getting my hair done, it used to be more of a common thing for stylists to keep you on rotation. Like, they wash you, they put you under the dryer, then they finish up somebody else. And I feel like it made it take longer to where it was like an all-day activity.
Individual focus.
But now when I go to a hairstylist now, it's like when you book, you are the only person in there. They get you in, they get you out.
And that's how it should be, really. I mean... If you come early or you come a little bit late, it might overlap a little bit, but they know how long it takes to do hair. And I don't even mind if they do somebody else at the same time they do me, but you need to have it timed out so that I'm not sitting there for an extended period of time while you do something else to them. I'm all about get your money, and I try to be patient. And like I said, every stylist that I've ever had in the past has been someone that I eventually became friendly with. When you were, hey, Valerie, if you watch this, when you were a baby.
Yeah, and you're supposed to text her so I can get my hair done.
When you were a baby and I was still breastfeeding and you were taking regular naps and wouldn't let anybody else watch you because I was your supply, food supply, she worked with me, had me come during your naps, and made sure I got back before your nap was over. And that was why me and her became not just client and customer. I mean, client and
clientele.
and stylist. We became friends because she barely knew me. She knew I was a new mom, and she's like, "Come when you put your baby down for a nap, and I will try to get you home before she wakes up." And she did that, and I instantly became friends with her because she was somebody that understood motherhood and womanhood, and so like I wasn't gonna complain about too much.
And I don't mind when like you go to the hair salon and it becomes like a friendly atmosphere and everybody's talking and like somebody might order food and everyone's eating or what, like, and it becomes like kind of that like stereotypical like girl talk time thing.
Yeah.
But still, I need my phone.
Yeah, you
not
gotta
to sound like I'm addicted to my phone, but like I am addicted to my phone. I need my phone.
Yeah, I get angry anytime I'm anywhere where somebody feels like, okay, you need to put your phone down. Unless me being on my phone is interrupting you or calling you. Unless it's like, why are you worried about?
Like when I was a student, I won't be on my phone during class unless I did. And if I need to text somebody, I won't text them because I pay for these classes. Like this is in high school, but I'm not going to be on my phone out of respect for the professor. There's other people. Like if I'm in a movie theater, I'm not going to be on my phone because it's going to be a light
where you don't need your phone. But
if I'm out with friends, I'm probably not on my phone. If I'm with my boyfriend, I'm probably not on my phone that much. Like there's a setting, there's a time and a place, but at the same time, you can't lock it up.
Other people's time, but if you are paying for a service and you need to check your phone, you just need to check your phone.
And I feel like most people have enough common sense to not be ridiculous with that leeway of like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, and you have to have a relationship with whoever you're working with to be able to say, hey, when you're looking at your phone, it makes it awkward for me to try to do this. I mean, treat people like bottom line is everybody got to be an adult. Person doing the hair, be an adult. Person getting hair done, be an adult.
And just one more thing, stylist. When someone asks for you to do something specific, whether you want to or not, do it because they're paying. Unless it's like detrimental to the health of their hair, just do it.
Yeah, I mean, because it depends. If this is my first time coming to you, actually anytime. If you know, out of based on experience and out of professionalism, this is not a good thing for me to do. Give me all the information and then let me make the final decision.
I don't like because with me, it's like they're scared to cut my hair because they like the way that it looks. But it's like, but I said I want layers. I said cut the front short, leave length in the back, please. And I feel like there's been a couple of people that actually did it the way that I wanted it done. But there's some people that I can tell they are scared to death because they don't want to do anything, or maybe they're scared to mess it up.
I mean, I'd rather them be hesitant to cut it than to be one of those butchers that cuts people's hair.
Or have you ever encountered
when they shouldn't cut it?
But have you ever encountered the stylist that has a preferred part, like they are a side part person versus a middle part person?
They usually ask me, like everybody I've ever gone to.
Every time they will ask me, and they'll be like, "I don't know, I think it'll look better like this." And I'm like, "Well, why did you even?" Because now in my head, in my mind, I was like, "Okay, middle part," because I'm a middle part girl through and through. They always want to do a side part on me, and I'm just like, I don't feel like I look good. Yeah, I don't like it.
Usually they ask, and I like the ones that ask which side. If it's a side part, like which side do you normally part on or whatever and stuff. I've never had one like try to inflict their will on me. Like they usually do whatever I ask them to do. And I'm usually the person that says, what do you think? Like, do whatever you think is going to look
No,
good.
I come with pictures, and I'm like, I specifically want it to look exactly like this.
I'm not that person. But I'm not going through all that.
Well, on to the next topic. Ask a Gemini. Mm-hmm. So as I was scouring the internet for content to discuss today, I saw that this couple, and before y'all say, well, maybe they were teenagers. They weren't teenagers. This man had a full beard. A healthy beard. He was not a teenager. But they go on chaperoned dates. Like chaperoned as in like the video was of them on the date and the mom was like recording like this. Them on the date.
Somebody's mom?
Somebody's mama.
With some adult people?
With adult people. They go on chaperone dates.
Were they exceptionally religious in some way?
Based on what I saw in the comments, I'm assuming that it was like out of like because they were like, very religious Christians and they didn't want to leave any room for sin.
Now, you know what? That for me, based on just the information you provided,
and and it was a short video, so I don't know all of the information.
I do not know the details, and I do not want to insult anyone who is a religious person or extremely conservative person. But there is such a thing as being so heavenly minded, earthly good. Like at a point. Come on now, because I feel it's just weird.
Now, this is just my opinion, y'all. Don't come for me. I too am a Christian, but I don't want to say I'm not as much of a Christian because that sounds
There's no
bad.
such thing
but
as that. You're not as.
To me, that is very crazy. Like, no.
You're not a fundamental Christian. Like, you're not somebody that is a strict adhere to.
I don't even think it says that in the Bible, though. That's the thing.
Well, I mean,
it says abstain from the very appearance of evil, but I don't know if you could apply that.
There were rules about courtship and how people, conducted their relationships or whatever stuff. Sure, even into what would be not so ancient history, there were certain rules and things that people followed. But we're in modern times.
I frankly think that it is very ridiculous because I feel like I wouldn't fully be able to know the person without being alone with them at some point. Like, and I know people that like believe in this type of stuff. Like, there's people that are like, are different denominations where like they can't date until like they're basically married and all of that. I don't think that's realistic. I don't think that creates healthy marriages.
I'm not going to judge people on, because maybe that's a practice in their religion. So I'm not going to judge that.
No, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not going to do that. I would have assumed that in those situations, the people would be younger. I mean, I'm not going to judge the whole chaperone date thing because in some cultures, religions, that may be a thing. But at the point that you got a beard and you're older, I don't understand it. Children, yes, I see. Like, if you're in middle school, if you're in high school and you like somebody, but even at a point in high school, I feel like that's kind of crazy.
I can understand, like I said, younger people. I'm going to say pre-college age people.
No.
I'm going to say.
I say younger than 16.
Depending on the culture, the religion, because there could be.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about me personally.
But an adult, grown person, like if you're voting age, if you're old enough to.
I think
not even because voting you can do at 18.
I think if you're 16
drinking
or above,
age, if you're drinking age, 21 and above. And I know that's extreme, but I'm trying to be respectful of other people's.
No, we're not talking about them. We're talking about us, how we would conduct ourselves.
Oh, me?
Yes.
I think for dating unchaperoned, I'll tell you what I prefer. 16, well, maybe 15 to 16, you need to go on group dates. Like, I don't think a 15, 16-year-old should be going on a date, one-on-one date. I don't like that because... First of all, your judgment is impaired. You don't have your full faculty at that age. I think group dating is the best for 15 to 16. And the only reason I'm saying 15 is because some people turn 15 when they're in high school. Because I think dating should be reserved for high school. I think
more than likely at 16, 15, whatever, you're more likely to probably date a friend. And I wouldn't prohibit my child from hanging out with their friend.
I'm going to say... And like I said, I'm only saying 15 because some people are 15 when they go into high school. 15 to 16, you need to group date. Around 17, 18, you could go out on dates, just couples dates. And then once you get college age, what am I following you around? If you can go off 4 years and go to college,
I feel like when I have kids, maybe my opinion will change. And also, I'm a girl, so I know it's different.
And it depends on the kid, too, because some kids are more responsible. Some kids you can trust to go on a date and they're not going to do it. And then other kids might need to be a little bit more closely watched.
I feel like when they're younger, y'all need to stay at the house in the living room where I can see you. Or you need to go to the movies and come right back.
As a normal biological person, more than likely you're going to be attracted to people. Okay, I was going to say opposite sex, but somebody's going to come for me with that. So I'm just saying you're going to be attracted to people. If that's something that you start to notice about your child when they're younger, instead of having a fit and going crazy and trying to stop it or whatever, chaperoned visits. They can come. The person can come over. They can join the family.
Because honestly, as a kid, I don't
think young kids should be dating.
As a kid, I was not even thinking about that. I was thinking about, can I get into college?
But 15, 16-year-olds, okay, group dates or chaperone dates, because I know some parents that will take their kids to the mall. Okay, I'm going to sit in the food court. Y'all go do whatever. Group dates or chaperone dates until about 16. After 16, couple dates, and then like I said, when you get college age, if you can go to college,
I
live
feel
on
like as a
campus by
grown
yourself.
person, I don't want to say something is wrong with you, but like at 20-something years old, there's no reason.
There is probably some story or
and I'm saying that because there have been times where you have been with me and my boyfriend out places because it just organically happened.
That's not a date.
But
like we're going to.
No, I'm saying I'm making a point.
Yeah,
you have been out with us places, and it doesn't bother me that you're with us because it's just like he's there, you're there, we're all together doing something because that's how it happened. But there's absolutely no way every time we go out, I want you there. No,
and
ma'am.
I don't want to go because I don't want to.
No, ma'am.
Because I don't want to look at y'all.
No,
but
ma'am.
Yeah, like I don't have any problem with, like you said, there's times we've gone places, the three of us together, but I don't count that as a date. That's
not us going.
Outing.
That's like we were going somewhere and you're tagging along type thing.
That's an outing. Why I gotta be the tag along? Maybe me and you were going somewhere. He tagged along. That doesn't happen.
No.
But I tag along. It was we were all going to the same place, so we went together. Is what it is.
Like I don't mind if family's involved. If I'm doing something with him and like his family is there, you're there. Like that's fine. But the concept of a chaperone date.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to chaperone.
I feel like
I don't want to.
At what point is it like? At what point? Is it just a lack of self-control? Like if y'all can't be alone together.
That's what I'm saying. I don't. That's
because you can. I feel like you can. If you are righteous enough to not want to do certain things until you're married, then you should be able to be alone together. Maybe with extra boundaries in place, but you should be able to be alone together. Before I saw
a chaperone situation, I could almost see them saying, "Okay, when we go out, we're going to go out as couples. Like we're going to go out, like what do you call it? Double date. We're going to double date." To like keep each other honest, if it's a religion thing or a culture thing, but saying to like, have another like to have a parent or somebody with me. I
have questions for this couple. Do y'all not ride in the same car together? Do y'all not visit each other like at home ever? Do y'all not have like movie nights, game nights?
Somebody's gonna come in the comments and they're gonna explain to us. Like somebody I really that knows need y'all what's going on is gonna come in the comments and explain. And I really want to know because, like I said. I understand the concept of, conservatism and modesty and religion and culture, whatever. I could see saying, okay, we're not going to be alone with each other because we don't want to be tempted or whatever stuff. So, like, we're going to go on double dates with other people. But to have a couple with some watcher type. But
I feel like realistically, there is a point in time where you need to be alone with that person because you're not going to know truly who they are unless.
Is the person that's with them like sitting right there, or are they like off in another part of the restaurant?
They were close enough to be able to record them, and I can see their faces.
I mean, but even with that, you can have a conversation if somebody's across the room.
No, I don't want. There's
I mean,
no
I wouldn't
universe
want to do that, but I'm just saying there's a way that they can have a conversation without being overheard.
I just don't see how you're in a real relationship with someone unless you're alone with them.
But that's because of your culture and how you were raised. You don't know, like maybe.
Like, I feel like, how do you not know this person is like abusive? How do you not know they're a rapist? How do you not know that they're like weird or they act weird in certain settings?
We know you could be. You could date them for years.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. I feel like
crazy.
The chances are increased because if like the behavior that a significant other is going to exhibit when he's around your family is not going to be the same when he's alone.
It sure is not.
It's going to be different.
Sure
Whether that's a good different, bad different, indifferent different, it's still going to be different. Because if you're being watched by a third party, you're going to be very much on your P's and Q's.
That's true.
Like. I
guess that's something that they have to work through and work out. I have no idea. I just know that it would be strange for me to have somebody watching while I dated as an adult. As a kid,
it makes sense that you want to make sure they're being safe, that there's not any unplanned, nothing's going on. But as an adult, I just like I said, somebody is going to come in the comments and they're going to explain, and I would love to hear that. And how do you even have that? I can't imagine having that conversation and being like, yeah, so I don't ever want to be alone with you until we're married.
I'm sure if they're in that situation, they're probably in agreement. Like they probably are of the same culture or group or whatever, so that it's not unusual to them. Like they probably already know that that's the situation. I don't know. People are gonna be mad at us for judging people because I'm sure that there's some group or some organization or some religion that are gonna say this is what we do.
I know people that are in religions where they think like this. I just don't understand it.
Well, you don't have to understand. They say
No, I'm not saying that I have to understand. If y'all want to continue to go on chaperone dates, mommy and me type dates, then that's great. But
don't be disrespectful, because your Western ways may not be the ways of another. I didn't raise her like that, y'all.
Like I understand arranged marriage better than I understand this.
Well, so maybe in arranged marriages, their dates prior to the marriage may consist of something like this.
My understanding is probably not. But I guess
that's your limited understanding. You don't know everybody. You only know a few people.
But
so like
I don't think arranged marriage, at least like from what I've learned from like Tripura, because she's South Indian. In Indian culture, arranged marriage is like they have like a matchmaking type thing, and like families will be like, oh, this is my son, this is my daughter. I think they would be good together. And then they have a chance to date each other before they get married. And then they get married. So it's more like arranged marriage is more like matchmaking.
I'm not really mad at that.
This is what
I'm not really mad at
I was
that.
like, that kind of makes sense.
If my family and your family are friendly and we have similar values and mindsets or whatever and stuff, and y'all want to hook a sister up, like hook a sister up. And especially if I can then date the person to see if we're compatible. Hey family, y'all slipping. That right there, y'all know somebody that's right for a sister. Y'all supposed to set that up.
I was like, because I had to do the work myself and find somebody myself.
Yeah, I
feel like arranged marriage can work.
Well, I mean, what's the difference between that and friends that say, "Hey, I know this person." Family, friends, y'all slipping, hook a sister up. Because I'm fine with that. Yeah, as long as I get to then date the person and find out if
maybe it's a chaperone. Maybe I have to join the date to.
Well, no, we're not doing that.
Why can't I chaperone your dates?
Why
can't we reverse the roles? You're single. I'm not single.
Let's not get. Well, you low-key try to chaperone anyway, because you gonna judge the person. You gonna ask all kind of questions, give them side eye and stuff.
For sure.
Yeah. Well,
absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway,
what do you do for work, sir? 6 figures, 7 figures. Like, what's the deal?
I'm good with that. Whatever.
But anyway, on to Gemini gems. Would you like to go first, or you want me to go first?
Go first.
So while we're talking about dates and chaperone dates, so some of y'all are being a little too safe, some of y'all are being a little too risky. I think that everyone should make it a practice to do background checks before they go on first dates. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people think you have to pay for it, or you have to like know somebody in law enforcement or whatever. No. Every county, at least in Florida, this is a very Florida specific thing because I don't know what California is like, whatever. I learned this in school and I use it for work. Every county has public records. You can go on the clerk of the circuit court. You can go on the jail databases. And as long as you have their first and last name, and it helps to have their birth date, but if you don't have their birth date, then whatever. But first and last name, you can find out whether they have a mortgage. You can find out whether they've ever been arrested, whether they have traffic violations, whether they've ever been married, ever been divorced, everything. And if you want to know if they're a registered voter, all you have to do is know their name and their birthday.
And I think, even though that might sound extreme, everybody should do that, because that could eliminate a lot of future problems down the road. You need to know who you're going out with, and that, to me, that's not too much to do. And it saves the embarrassment of asking them, but you go out knowing at least that.
And I'm not saying that someone that has a record is necessarily a bad person, because I don't know people's lives. But it just gives you a heads up, because if you see, they've been accused of rape or they were convicted of rape, then you don't want to go out with that person.
That's a whole different thing. But just you have some background information, and especially if you don't have friends and family to do that reconnaissance. Because I know, first of all, I'm gonna make you check, and then I'm gonna call friends.
And sometimes it helps too if you're dating somebody in an area that you don't live, but you have a friend that lives there. You can be like, have you ever met so and so? Did you go to school with them?
Because you'll find out sometimes they're community property, child. Community property. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so my Gemini gem, if you do start to date or be involved with a person, whether it's romantically, platonically, whatever, my recommendation, my Gemini gem, is do not ever allow someone to start to receive mail at your house. Do not allow them to move their property or possessions into your house and set up residency, because if they do and things go badly, whether it's a romantic or platonic relationship, you could be in a situation where you legally have to evict them. And that that is easier said than done, because sometimes you have to give them notice and then wait 30 days and then you have to do something else and then wait some more time. It could become a very ugly, tawdry situation. So Do not ever allow someone that does not reside at your house to receive mail or use your home as a mailing address. Do not allow them to move their possessions into your house, because once they do, they can claim residency. And I'm not a lawyer, so check my facts. I could be wrong, but this is based on not personal experience, but based on, things that have been shared with me and things that I've heard. You do not want to be in a situation where somebody is saying that this is where I live, this is my home now, and you have to go through the legal process of evicting them, because it can get ugly. It can get very ugly. There was a news story not too long ago where somebody, be careful with this whole Airbnb situation, because somebody used their home as an Airbnb. The people came, moved in, and then refused to leave. And the people whose house it was had to go through a whole bunch of legal drama to get those people out of their house. So be scared. They call them squatters. Be careful of squatters. Be careful of people that you're involved with want to stay over, and then can I get this mail sent here? Don't do it, because it can become illegal unless they are unless you're prepared to be with them forever or whatever. Don't allow them to receive mail or move their things into your home, because you may have to evict them. And it's not easy to do.
Well, y'all be safe out there. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Period.